Hi, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Weekly Spark. Full disclosure, it is already 2 o'clock on Wednesday. So I'm going to start this page and upload a partial for you so that I can have something out to you today. I'm not going to get everything I have planned done in the next 2 hours, the window that I have to film and to work in the studio today. So I'll get it started and I'll finish it next week. I mean, that's life. If we've got an active art journaling practice, then it also needs to fit in with all the things that go on in life. And so for me, I have a small window today. We're going to get started, and I'll show you what's going on. If you happen to see the video earlier in the week, what is time? About some of the books that I was reading for this month of September, you'll know that this is one of them that I picked up at an amazing bookstore in Livingston, Montana called Wheatgrass Books. The author is actually local. She was going to be doing a reading, and I missed that as I was there on a family vacation. But I've already finished this book, and it's September 3rd. I mean, that bodes well for my Fox-themed reading list for the month. But I really enjoyed this. It was really an interesting read. She has multiple degrees, zoology, botany. She's a member of Mensa, right? And so she lives on this piece of property in Montana and actually befriends this fox. There are also magpies that are big characters in the book, and the fox is not tamed, but it is an interesting relationship that they have on the land with the cycles of the land. And it was just fascinating to me. So things I've pulled from this for inspiration are the magpies, the fox, the forget-me-not, and maybe a quote from The Little Prince, which she often quotes in the book. And so that just ties well together with things. It's a kind of recurring kind of thread that runs through things. So I do highly recommend this book. It is a little heady, a little cerebral. There are also a lot of quotes and references to Moby Dick, which I've not read, although I know the basic premise. And it's probably not going to be to everybody's liking, but I did thoroughly enjoy it, and it was a departure for me because it had the Moby Dick references, and because it was talking about a landscape that I'm not very familiar with. So, thoroughly enjoyed it. My plan for this page is to do, actually, I mean, in my head, I'm kind of drawing inspiration from a classic tarot card with a border and maybe a little text at the bottom, and then the central focal image. And so that is going to be fox. Probably going to be really stylized with some decorative botanical designs. I want to have two magpies flying towards each other in a top band. I want to have tall bluebell flower plants in the side borders, and perhaps a quote from The Little Prince in the bottom. So I'm not sure. I might get some of these things drawn in. I might get all this laid out first, but I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, get out a ruler, and start measuring out some borders to get this composition laid out. I'm also going to put on some music and put on the fan, so I'll come back in with a little voiceover later if I need to tell you anything else. What I will tell you before we get started is that I would love to have a like and a subscribe. Definitely helps the channel. I appreciate the mailman that my dog barks at, and I appreciate comments. So like, subscribe, leave me a comment, definitely stay tuned, and come back next week for another episode of Weekly Spark where we can watch this page unfold. For right now, I'm going to speed this up because measuring out borders and stripes, not the most interesting, but you'll be able to follow along and see kind of what my plan is. Great. Let me get this started. Thanks for tuning in. So I did just want to pop in and explain this. I did not film drawing these magpies because I had to use my phone to search for the reference image. I found a really nice kind of graphic image, black and white. I'm going to add a little of that teal that happens on a magpie's wing. So I drew the one that I'm currently inking in pen right now, and then on my phone I did flip the image so that I had the reference image going the other way as well. So I apologize for that, but I think you can mentally follow along with what I've done. And now I'm going to continue inking and get these magpies in place. I did realize that I wanted their wings to descend down, and I've broken the border that I drew. Now, they're going to be black and white and teal. There are going to be some spots where that black line goes through a white part of the wing. So I'm going to use a white gel pen and just run with it. When I found the magpie image and it was the perfect kind of position of them, I just didn't want them to be so small that they would fit inside the box completely. I wanted their bodies and tails to really fill the border, and proportionally, that meant their wings were going to hang out. So I went with it, and I'll just fix it as I go along. This, again, is a page in my journal. This is not a perfect piece that's destined to be framed or for a commission or to hang on the wall, so I can work with changes as they happen.
We've actually just been hanging out on the ship for most of the day, but we have a couple hours to get out there and explore the town of KOTOR a little bit. I see some ancient walls over there, some ancient forts built into the mountainous hillside. How the heck did they do it?
And I think we are going to meet some furry friends along the way.
Lead the way.
Yes. One of maybe the best things about this city is that kitty cats are running amok. They are everywhere here. Apparently everyone loves them. So we're going to find them all over the place.
You're a feisty one.
Are you protecting the city, kitty kitty? We stumble on a guitarist playing in the old town, playing the Game of Thrones theme song.
Well, apparently the map indicates that there is a trail that takes you up to kind of the fortress walls that you can walk along. I don't know. All of a sudden there are no people and we're just climbing a bunch of private staircases when you see them. We just talked to the captain and he said we can go to the bow of the ship. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know that you usually are never allowed up here. It is very much against the policy. Do you know what you're going to do up there?
Why, yes, Jack, I do. No, we can't be that sappy, right?
Hey, you can't do it. Well, you have to yell, I'm the king of the world. What's down in this hole? Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a cool shot as long as I don't drop my camera into the deep. This has been really freaking cool. Like to navigate through this bay. It's really, really like loosey-goosey, but also very proceeding. Like you can see them constantly scouting the location. Like they'll have 3 guys at a time with binoculars looking out, I guess, just to make sure there isn't anything that they're missing. So many instrumentation, screens, panels, buttons, all that stuff. Very cool. I'm really nervous. I'm like do something and throw them off course or something horrible. So let's get out of here.
Support their health with clinically proven probiotics from Royal Canin.
Freaks up!
Chuck, my dishes!
Don't worry, they've got Food John Power Suds. It traps, locks, and removes 99% of grease, so it doesn't
we've managed to get a little bit more acquainted with the ship, so we figure it's a good time to give you guys a proper look around.
And it's probably not going to take that long because this ship is significantly smaller than other ships we've been on. Alright, well, I guess first up, we found the sauna room.
We just opened a random door.
Well, I thought this was the door that we went outside on, but it was not. But it looks like they've got a nice little, I'm assuming this is the hot spa. Very warm in there. And I think directly across from this should be the gym and the massage room. Alright, as suspected, the gym, which is pretty well equipped. They got all the free weights over here. You can run, you can bike, the elliptical. Although, I'm hoping that we're going to be doing enough walking and hiking on this cruise. We won't need it.
We might not use this.
So I just wanted to pop in one more time as we get to the end of this portion of this page. I do really like these clickable felt tip pens by Zebra. I don't get any kickback or proceeds from them or anything. I paid full money for them, but I really like them. I think I'm going to do a watercolor wash in these panels behind the flowers, but that'll wait until next time. Like I said, I knew this wasn't going to be a full page, and I have plans to do the fox in the center, to do watercolor in the background, but I just went with the flow and did the parts that fell into place right now. Please come back next week, and I will show you the next evolution of this. And as always, like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Weekly Spark.